Unforgettable sex and the deep psychological fulfillment for a man. The term unforgettable sex signifies a phenomenon that extends far beyond mere physical gratification. It marks an event so emotionally profound and psychologically validating that it etches itself permanently onto a man's consciousness. For a man, this apex experience is not simply a biological function, but a unique convergence where the primal need for physical release meets the deep, often unspoken, existential needs for acceptance and significance. The prevailing misconception that men view intimacy only through a superficial lens is shattered by the reality of truly memorable encounters. The profound experiences are those where a man achieves a rare confluence of three core fulfillments. Validation of worth, the confirmation of manhood. He must feel fiercely desired not just for the act, but for his inherent masculinity, his capability, and his unique place in his partner's world. This intense confirmation feeds his hero complex and reaffirms his self-esteem, turning the physical act into a spiritual ceremony of adoration. Psychological sovereignty, the freedom to be primal. The partner creates a sanctuary of unconditional trust, the unbreakable vault, which allows the man to shed his societal conditioning, performance anxiety, and internalized shame. Here he can unleash his shadow self, Jungian concept, and express his darkest, most vulnerable or unconventional fantasies without fear of judgment. This liberation is a source of immense psychological release. Existential wholeness, the alleviation of loneliness. The encounter transcends the physical, becoming a fusion of essences. This is where the man momentarily escapes the isolation of his individual existence and feels a deep, spiritual merging with his partner. It is a fleeting but powerful answer to the universal human yearning for connection, making him feel complete and fundamentally understood. The role of archetypes and flow state. From a depth psychological perspective, as introduced in the body of your text with the Carl Jung archetype, the indelible memory is formed when the partner seamlessly aligns with the man's internal, idealized feminine image, the anima. By embodying the full spectrum of the anima's desires, from wild lust to profound tenderness, the sexual union facilitates a state of psychological completion and inner peace. The 20 detailed components that follow illustrate how perfect synchronization, passionate ownership, masterful technique, and focused post-climax intimacy are engineered to transform a temporary biological function into a defining, life-altering experience. 20 elements that make sex truly unforgettable for a man. 1. Emotional and mental profundity, the foundation of memory. 1. The resonance of authentic love. An unforgettable encounter stems not merely from physical intensity, but from its meaning. For a man, this means feeling that the act is a profound expression of enduring love and deep commitment, not just transient lust. This conviction allows him to lower his defensive walls, making the experience spiritually validating. The sex becomes a ceremony of mutual devotion, sealing the memory with emotional gravitas. 2. The unbreakable vault of trust. This goes beyond fidelity. It's about emotional security. Trust enables the couple to explore the shadow self, a Jungian concept referring to hidden, often taboo desires, without fear of judgment, ridicule, or weaponization of those vulnerabilities later. When a man feels safe enough to express his deepest, most primal fantasies and desires, he achieves a level of psychological liberation that is intensely memorable. 3. Soul connection, the fusion of essences. This is the transcendental quality. It's the sensation, often momentary, that the two individuals are not just two bodies, but two souls momentarily merging. This deep synchronization elevates the experience beyond biology, touching on a primal sense of completeness or wholeness. The memory is so powerful because it feels like a brief moment of ultimate union, a rare spiritual high. 4. Mental synchronization, the telepathic flow. Unforgettable sex feels telepathic. It's the partner intuitively knowing the exact speed, depth, or specific touch needed without a single word. This nonverbal fluency, reading his subtle breath changes, muscle tension, or slight shifts in eye contact, confirms a profound level of attunement and focus. This effortless harmony generates an almost magical feeling of being perfectly understood. 2. Partner's engagement and passion, the amplifier and validator. 5. The unbridled expression of lust. For a man, the ultimate validation is his partner's uncontrolled, fierce desire. It's the moment the partner transitions from being merely cooperative to visibly voracious and hungry. This intense, almost primal display of appetite for him, manifested through grasping, biting, or urgent movement, ignites his own sense of primal power and potency, making him feel like a conquering force. 6. Expressing desire, the consecration of the lover. The experience is unforgettable when his partner actively claims him. This involves using assertive language, passionate declarations, or intense eye contact that explicitly communicates, "I want you, and only you, right now." This focused, intense desire validates his attractiveness and masculinity, making him feel essential and irreplaceable to her pleasure. 7. Unconventional initiation, the burst of spontaneity. Routine kills passion. Spontaneity fuels it. The moments that stick are when the partner breaks the routine by initiating sex in a bold, unexpected, and often slightly disruptive manner, catching him off guard in the hallway or in the middle of a mundane task. This act shouts that her desire for him is so urgent and overwhelming that it cannot wait, which is incredibly intoxicating. 8. Authentic vocalizations, the unfiltered soundtrack. The sounds of pleasure serve as the most immediate and powerful feedback loop. Unforgettable moans are uninhibited, deep, and raw, not performative. When her sounds convey a sense of losing control and reaching a state of ecstatic vulnerability, it directly confirms to the man that his actions are incredibly effective, pushing him to explore greater intensity and fervor. 3. Freedom and spontaneity, breaking the mold. 9. No time pressure, the immersion in flow state. When the threat of rushing is removed, the couple can enter a flow state where external reality fades. This allows for extended, non-goal-oriented foreplay, deep exploration, and the masterful edging or control of pleasure. This unhurried pace builds a cumulative tension that makes the eventual release exponentially more intense and memorable than a quick encounter. 10. Uninhibitedness, the shadow's liberation. The partner's willingness to shed all shame or self-consciousness about her body, her noises, or her hidden kinks is profoundly liberating. When she is fearlessly open in her sexuality, e.g., through dominant moves, intense eye contact in the light, or dirty talk, it gives the man permission to be equally wild and free, creating a boundaryless experience of true erotic communion. 11. Novel locations, the thrill of transgression. Changing the environment introduces a palpable element of risk, adventure, and secrecy. The slight rush of adrenaline and danger associated with having sex outside the bedroom, even if they're not really at risk of being caught, intensifies the primal feelings of the moment. This shared, thrilling secret strengthens the bond and makes the memory vividly distinct from routine sex. 12. Element of surprise, the jolt of novelty. Memorable sex often contains an unforeseen element that shows effort and specific thought toward his pleasure. This could be a sudden introduction of a prop, a mask, a new roleplay dynamic, or a completely new technique the partner has learned. This unpredictability keeps the atmosphere electric and signals that his partner views their sex life as a source of creative exploration. 4. Physical and technical mastery, the art of intertwined bodies. 13. Sensory awareness, the maestro of the erogenous map. This is the art of holistic pleasure. It's the partner focusing not just on the usual suspects, but on the lesser explored, highly sensitive areas of the male body, e.g., perineum, inner thighs, neck, chest, or ears. This demonstrates deep physical understanding and meticulous care, turning the experience into a nuanced journey across his entire body, rather than a single-point destination. 14. Sustained intensity, the orchestration of orgasm. This technique involves the expert manipulation of speed and depth to create a long, rolling wave of increasing pleasure, not a single spike. The ability to bring him to the brink of climax and then gently pull him back multiple times before the final, overwhelming release builds a cumulative ecstatic pressure that results in an orgasm so powerful it becomes a benchmark for all others. 15. Variety in positions, the geometry of passion. The variation must be purposeful. Unforgettable sex utilizes positions that maximize deep, primal sensation for physical fulfillment, alongside positions that maximize intimate connection and eye contact for emotional fulfillment. The seamless fluidity between these extremes ensures that both his body and his heart are fully engaged and satisfied. 16. Fulfilling fantasies, the realization of the inner world. Granting a specific, cherished fantasy in a loving and non-judgmental context is one of the most powerful forms of intimacy. It's an act of profound emotional acceptance. By stepping into that fantasy role, the partner validates the man's inner erotic landscape, bringing a piece of his secret world into reality. This psychological completion makes the experience utterly unforgettable. 5. Psychological and relational rewards, the post-climax imprint. 17. Affirmation and validation, the coronation of the lover. The moments immediately after climax are crucial for memory encoding. Unforgettable sex is followed by genuine, specific, and enthusiastic praise. "That was the best I've ever had." Or, "You make me lose my mind." This verbal and physical reverence elevates his hero complex, confirming his masculinity and skill, and reinforcing his identity as a superlative lover. 18. Power dynamics, the dance of control and release. Consensual and safe role-playing involving a shift in control can be intensely memorable. Whether it involves the man taking on a dominate, assertive role, or, conversely, experiencing the unexpected pleasure of being completely guided and subdued, this temporary, agreed-upon deviation from the everyday relationship dynamic injects a potent sense of primal passion and excitement. 19. Carl Jung's archetype, the wholeness of the self. The Jungian perspective suggests the memory is indelible when the partner fulfills the man's anima, the unconscious, internalized feminine image of his soulmate. When the partner embodies the full spectrum of his archetypal desires, e.g., blending innocence with wildness, deep love with raw lust, the man experiences a rare moment of psychological completeness and spiritual alignment, a true conjunctio, union. 20. Post-coital intimacy, the sealing of the bond. The quality of the afterglow is the final, essential element. Instead of immediately separating, the couple engages in a period of deep, non-demanding connection. This means sustained cuddling, gentle, non-sexual touching, shared silence, or quiet, meaningful whispers. This infusion of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, in the vulnerable post-climax state, cements the physical act with overwhelming emotional tenderness, ensuring the experience is cherished forever.